Welcome to the Janome studio. In this video tutorial, I'm going to show you an alternative binding technique called facing. If you haven't heard of or tried facing yet, you're in for a real treat. This is one of my favorite techniques to use whenever I don't want to pick a binding that's going to compete with a really cool quilt design. And sometimes picking binding fabric is just really difficult and another step that I don't want to go through. And so today I'm going to be showing you how to prepare your facing pieces. It's really simple. What we're going to do first is we're starting out with our quilted piece. And this piece measures 16 inches by 16 inches. So the first thing that you would need to do is measure the dimensions of your quilt. And for the top and bottom, that measurement of our piece is 16 inches. So we're going to cut strips for the top and bottom that are 16 inches long, so the same dimensions. And then the left and right sides are also 16 inches. So we're going to need 4 strips total, measuring 16 inches in length, and they need to be 3 1/4 inches wide. So we've got our strips cut. And for facing, it really doesn't matter what color fabric you pick for your facing because it's only going to be visible from the back of the quilt. So it can be scrap fabric, it can be fabric you kind of want to get rid of. You can piece it together if you are trying to use up old fabric. Sometimes I like to match it to the front of my quilt just in the event that a little tiny bit peeks up through the front, but if you press well, you shouldn't have that issue. Okay, so once we have our strips cut, we've got them cut at 3 1/4 inches wide. Now we're going to be folding these in half, wrong sides together, and we're going to be pressing on this fold. And you're going to do that to all 4 strips. So we've got our strips prepared, and we're going to pick 2 opposite sides to begin with. So I'm going to pick the top and bottom to start. And this piece is the front of my quilt. So you want to start with your quilt facing up. And you want the raw edge of your binding against the raw edge of your quilt. So the folded edge of the face binding is going to be pointing inwards. So we're going to go ahead and clip this in place. I cut my facing strips just a little bit longer. And I'm kind of pulling these tight against the top of my quilt. And the reason that I'm doing that is it's going to be a really snug fit whenever we sew this and pull it back around to the back. And I'm just going to trim this excess so that it's even with the edge of my quilt. So you can either cut your strips exactly to the dimension of your quilt, or you can cut it a little bit larger and then trim away the excess like I just did. And I'm also going to clip the sides here, here. And now you're going to repeat that for the opposite side. That's the same measurement. Okay, perfect. So our sewing path when we take this to the sewing machine is going to start here at the folded edge of our face binding, 1/4 inch from the edge of the quilt. We're going to sew so that we're 1/4 inch from the edge and then pivot and go along the length, stop 1/4 inch from the edge, and then sew up and end at the folded edge of the face binding. Okay, so let's take this to the sewing machine and sew our facing down. The way we're going to position this to start is we're going to have the short edge closest to the machine. I'm going to go ahead and select the 1/4 inch stitch, which is under the quilt menu. And it's the second stitch in, called the 1/4 inch stitch. Okay, so I'm going to remove this binding clip, these 2 binding clips over here, and I'm going to start just past the folded edge of my facing. I'm going to lower my presser foot, drop my needle down, and bring it up to bring that bobbin thread to the top. And then I'm going to sew backwards just a couple of stitches to secure my stitching. Perfect. Now I'm going to sew forward, and I am going to sew until I get about 1/4 inch from the edge of this quilt. If you want to make a reference mark for yourself, you can definitely do that, but there are also reference marks on the edge of this foot that will indicate when you're 1/4 inch from the edge of the quilt. which is right there. And you can engage the pivot function on your machine so that it automatically lifts the presser foot when you stop sewing, which is really great and convenient. And now we're gonna rotate our quilt and we're gonna sew down the length of this with a 1/4 inch seam allowance still. And I just want to say that this is a really great technique for beginners, especially if you don't want to go into mitering your corners. I use it all the time and it's so quick and easy, and I absolutely love the hand finishing. And I'll show you that once we get to that point. So we're gonna stop a 1/4 inch from the edge of the quilt, and I'm using the little marks on this 1/4 inch foot to guide me where to stop. And we'll rotate, and we're gonna sew just to the folded edge of this facing and not past it. Right there. And now I'm gonna do a lock stitch to secure our threads, and it'll trim also. Perfect. And now we're gonna do the exact same thing to the opposite side of our face binding. Okay, so now that we've got our top and bottom facing strips attached to the front of our quilt, we're ready to attach the remaining sides. So we're starting with strips that were originally the exact same length as the left and the right sides, but I've trimmed them down so that they're about 1 inch total shorter than this dimension. And the reason for that is we're going to center this on the left side so that each end is about 1/2 inch from the edge of the quilt. So we're going to position that in place, and then we're going to clip the raw edge of the length against the raw edge of the quilt. And whenever we sew this down, we're going to do a little bit different than we did the top and bottom. So we're only going to be sewing this long side. We're not going to start at the edge of the facing. So it'll go a little bit quicker. Perfect. Now we're going to do the same for the opposite side. So it'll be 1/2 inch shorter starting out and 1/2 inch shorter before it gets to the edge over here. Okay, great. So now we're ready to take this to the sewing machine, and we're gonna be sewing with a 1/4 inch seam allowance only along this long edge of each of these sides. All right, let's get this sewn. Again, we're using a 1/4 inch seam allowance with our O foot, and we're gonna start just right at the edge of that faced piece. We're not sewing up the short edge, we're only gonna be sewing down the length of this. So I'm gonna bring my bobbin thread up to the top. I like to do this because it doesn't make a little nest on the back side of my quilt. And then I'm gonna sew backwards just a couple of stitches to secure my threads. Perfect. All right, now we're gonna sew all the way down the length of this. And you can see our facing strip is ending about 1/2 inch from the edge of the quilt. Perfect, now we're gonna do a lock stitch and trim our threads. All right, and now we're gonna move to the other side and sew it down exactly the same way that we just did. All right, so now that we've sewn the edges of our face binding down to our quilts, we're ready to start pressing. And before we do that, we're gonna grab a pair of scissors and we're gonna trim away the little points or corners of our quilt. And when you do that, you just wanna make sure that you don't cut into your stitching. And we're trimming these away so that we can, whenever we turn these points the other way out, they're gonna be really nice, crisp points. So we're gonna trim those away. And whenever we do this pressing, I always like to either use a spray starch, just a little bit, or you can even spritz it with water to make your pressing really crisp. The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna press the left and right sides of the facing out and away from the quilt. So we're gonna press those. I like to press kind of quick and then hit it with a little bit of spray starch. Just a little bit goes a long way. You don't need to do a whole lot. And then go back. This will make that pressing just really crisp. So you'll get a great finish. Then we're gonna do the same thing to the opposite side. And we're leaving the top and the bottom alone for right now. We're gonna come back and mess with that in just a minute. Okay, same thing. Use just a little bit of spray starch on those edges. Okay, now we're gonna flip the quilt to the back side, which is this really bright gem print. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna be flipping the entire seam allowance to the back. So, and then we're gonna press that. What that's gonna look like from the front is you're not gonna see any of the facing at all. You'll just see a really crisp folded edge. So we're gonna fold back that seam allowance all the way back with the facing. And you can use more spray starch or another spritz of water if you'd like here to help really make that pressing stand out. So the pressing on this is something you really don't want to skimp on. You really want this facing to lay down nice and flat. All right, great. So now once we've given that a good press, we're going to pin this down. We're going to pin the folded edge of the facing to the back of the quilt. All right, and now we're gonna do the exact same thing to the opposite side. So we're gonna bring this back and give it a really nice press. Okay, and so I'm gonna show you the front. Do you see how you can't see any of that facing? It's just a beautiful crisp finish. Now we're gonna flip over to the front. And we're gonna do the same process. You may need to move your pins. You can see that I pinned through this facing. You need to make sure your pins are not through the facing on the front side because we'll need to flip that over to the back. Okay, so we're gonna do the exact same thing. We're gonna flip this up and I like to do a little press, staying away from the corners just for right now. We'll get those corners when we flip to the back side. All right, so let's flip to the back. And now we're gonna completely turn this out. And at this point, you're gonna wanna use a stiletto or a turning tool or something that has a little bit of a point on it that isn't too sharp. You can even use the stylus that comes with the Memory Craft 15,000. This is a really great tool to use. And you're just gonna carefully push those points out so that they're very crisp and pointy. And then I'm gonna come back and hit this with a little bit of spray starch so that my pressing looks really good. I really love how this makes a finished quilt look. It's a great technique to use, even if you're a beginner, because you don't have to worry about mitering your corners and you don't have to worry about picking a binding that's gonna look good on your quilt because you can't see it from the front. To finish this off, we're gonna actually not take it to the sewing machine. We're gonna finish this by hand with some beautiful hand stitching. All right, so now that we've got our facing pressed, and when you look at the front of the quilts, all you see is the front of the quilt. You don't see any facing. It's all been turned to the back of the quilt. We're ready to finish this. And the way that we're gonna finish this is we're gonna put in some nice hand stitches. The reason that we're not gonna finish this on the sewing machine is that since our facing comes so far out on the quilt, any stitches that penetrate all the layers, they're gonna be pretty visible, like an inch and a half in on the quilt, and we don't want that. So we took all the effort to make sure that this looks clean and no binding seen on the front, that we don't want our stitches to be seen on the front either. So I like to use a Milner's needle, like a size 11, because it's really sharp and smooth and cuts through the fabric like butter. And I choose a thread color that coordinates or blends in well with the facing fabric. And to start, this is really great handwork that you can do either on the couch or relaxing. And I like to start my stitches on the reverse side of the facing so that the knot of my thread is completely buried and not visible. And I'm gonna bring my needle out on the fold of that facing. And it doesn't really matter where you start your stitches at this point, as long as your knot is concealed. And I'm gonna be stitching the way that I started. I'm on both pieces of facing and I'm gonna stitch through all 4 layers. So 2 layers of the first piece of facing that's folded in half, and then 2 layers of the second piece of facing that's folded in half. And I'm also going to be catching the back fabric of the quilt, but not the front fabric. So I'm going to maneuver my needle through that. The first few stitches, you might want to check the front and make sure that your needle hasn't penetrated the front of the fabric. Just pull your thread through nice and smooth. Again, I'm catching all 5 layers here, pulling my needle up. And now I'm just on 1 piece of facing, so I'm going through 3 layers only. And so you're just going to continue doing this all the way around until you get back to where your starting point was with the hand stitching. You want to make sure that you stitch down the top and bottom portions of the facing that are concealing the raw edges of the left and right sides of the facing. So that's really important. That way all of your raw edges are concealed and everything's nice and neat and contained. So you can wash your quilt without fear that anything's going to unravel or fray. All right, so let's go ahead and stitch all the way around this by hand, and we'll have a nice finished facing on our quilt. Now that you've seen how to apply a facing, I hope that you'll consider using this great technique the next time you have a quilt where you don't want the binding to compete with the pattern of your quilt. Thanks for joining us.